Hey everybody, welcome to the Welch review. Sam, what are we talking about today?
Today we have Dredd, which is a Judge Dredd movie.
Which came out in 2012.
2012, nothing like the Stallone movie, much less campy and a lot more serious.
Very true.
What's our cast looking like?
So in Dredd 2012, you have Karl Urban donning the helmet and the badge as Judge Dredd. You have Olivia Thirlby as Anderson, a new recruit.
Oh, yeah.
You have Lena Headey as Mama, right? You might know her as Queen Gorgo from 300.
Or Cersei Lannister.
From Game of Thrones. So cementing herself as like a badass villain babe, right? And then you have Wood Harris from Remember the Titans, who played Julius Campbell.
Yep.
As Kay, who's one of Mama's henchmen. And then you have Doomhall Gleeson as the clan techie. And then it was directed by Pete Travis.
Cool. So yeah, like I was just saying, this is a much more serious version of Dredd. The last one was like, the Stallone one from back in the day is very campy and kind of goofy and over the top. It's still a fun watch, but that's a story for another time.
Absolutely.
This one focuses on a more grim-dark Judge Dredd who's taking a rookie out on like her test run, and what's special about her is that she is psychic. So they wind up going to
Peachtrees.
Yeah, Peachtrees, which is this giant apartment complex essentially. It's like 200 stories tall. It's probably like a football field in width in either direction. So it's massive. It's a huge building.
And mind you, this is just one specific building in Mega City 1.
Yep.
Which is essentially, Dredd is a dystopian set future, right? Where police officers, the whole justice system has been boiled down to judges who act as judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
Right? So the moment they arrive on the scene, they're already booking you for this, that, or the other thing, or they can kill you right then and there.
Yep.
So like Sam's saying, Dredd essentially has this rookie, and it's her training day, right? And he says to her, listen, there's X amount of crime, we can only respond to 6% of it. And she's like, so what are we doing today? And he's like, you choose the crime you want to respond to, right? Which makes some own questions about whether they do that in our own society. But either way, so she picks this, a triple homicide in this like mega slum Peachtrees, which is essentially a city that just goes up.
Yeah. So they get to Peachtree, and like you were saying, there's this triple homicide, and they quickly find out that it's gang affiliated.
Yeah.
There's a gang called the Mama Clan, which is kind of a silly name, but it's headed by Cersei Lannister, also known as Lena Headey, also known as Mama, in this film. So Mama is an ex-prostitute turned gang leader turned hardcore drug developer slash distributor slash merchant,
slash head bitch in charge.
Yeah, head bitch in charge. And this new drug is called slow-mo, so it makes you like feel like everything's going very slowly. And she's famous for being extremely brutal, like biting off penises, shooting people, throwing them off of cliffs,
and skinning them.
So generally a bad time.
Yeah. Just not good.
Yeah.
So, essentially, I think you could boil this down to, oh god, how did Dead... So you got, like, Space Clint Eastwood versus...
Dredd.
Versus, what the hell did he... Lady Two-Face on drugs.
Lady Scarface.
That's it, Lady Scarface, right? So, essentially, you have Space Clint Eastwood versus Lady Scarface in an apartment complex. And that's your movie.
Yeah, like if any of you know what a dungeon crawl is, it's like that, except you're going up instead of down.
Oh, so it's just like the Raid Redemption.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. Yeah, no, they totally, like, it's very self-contained, right? So it's like this big world, like I was saying, and they've condensed it now to just this one building. And then from that one building, they take you to just a few floors.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, Peter Travis does a very good job of establishing this big world and zooming in and shrinking it and showing you like, yo, this is just here.
Yeah. I know that this is kind of jumping around a little bit, but just as some background established, Mega City 1 is, like you were saying, it's America, but everything west of like Pennsylvania has been destroyed by like savage nuclear war.
Yeah.
So Mega City 1 is essentially just the original 13 colonies and like Florida, going straight down, and there's like 800 million people who live there, so everything's extremely overcrowded, which is why we have these giant structures.
Like constant New York City.
Everywhere. Non-stop.
As far as the eye can see.
Exactly.
So, as Dredd and Anderson enter this building, right, it's very clear, like, the actors have done a good job, like, I'm sure Offset, like, establishing how this relationship's gonna go, right? So that's, like, another dynamic you watch, where Dredd's very gruff, by the book, like, I don't need anyone, shoot first, ask questions later. Anderson's, like, more sentimental and borderline empathetic with people, but, like, through the course of the movie, it shows, like, violence and what they go through has altered it, right? They have more of an understanding of each other.
Yeah. So, anyways, they get here. They don't fully solve the triple homicide, but they find a perp who they think can explain the whole thing. And right as they do that, the Mama clan gets like the blast doors of this building, because there's nuclear war that happens in this world. She closes the blast doors and basically says to all of the gang members in this giant tower, hey, your new job is to kill these two judges. They don't get to leave. So the story quickly switches from training day to training day in hell.
To Die Hard.
Yeah, to Die Hard, essentially. Yeah, training day to Die Hard. And their goal changes from bringing this perp to survival. So over the course of the movie, they're basically on the run trying to find a place not to die at. And when that becomes impossible, they have to switch gears to hunting their hunters. Like Homer Simpson once said, the hunter has become the hunter. And Judge Dredd is the greatest hunter.
And he has one of the sweetest guns I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
Like, it has this one type thing. Well, firstly, it has, like, ID recognition. So if you're not the person the gun's printed on, it self-destructs and blows up. And then it also has features where you can be like hot shot, or high X, which is high explosive, or
double whammy.
Yeah, where like it shoots a fireball, it shoots an explosive, it shoots 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's double whammy.
And then also acts as an automatic machine gun.
Yeah.
In your hand.
Yeah. So it's a pretty versatile weapon. It's kind of like the Batman's utility belt, but in a gun.
But yeah, it's just in a gun.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about Dredd is like this. Karl Urban never removes his helmet.
Yep.
Right. So essentially, the idea of Dredd could be anybody, right? In that case, is anonymous. But like when I forget where I was going with it, my tangent. But
that's good. He's anonymous.
It's an anonymous. He is the symbol, right?
It makes him more superhero-y.
Yeah. But like it's not without like he's not like he's untouchable though. There's a scene where it shows him get hurt, and then perform a field dressing.
Yeah.
It shows some reload, so it's not like he's like just I have unlimited ammo or anything like that.
It's not just your standard like movie bullshit.
Right.
And yeah, he gets hurt. He almost dies. On one occasion. In fact, both of the main cast almost die on at least 1 or 2 occasions. So they do a good job showing that they're just not these immortal gods. Although there are some instances where you get like there's a butt ton of guns shooting at them and they're running in the same direction that the bullets are going and all the bullets miss them. Like
that can be real fast.
Yeah, that does happen, but it's not like the entire film. Most of the time, they are using either cover or concussive weapons to disarm their opponents or give themselves the edge in combat. So it isn't just like, you know, I'm a demigod, fear me, common mortals.
But also, now without saying, there are a couple instances I think, you know, they could have done a little bit more work with some things. Like, there's one specific exchange where Dredd's like, wait, and then, like, the guy, you know, the bad guy is just like, wait for what? And then lists a bunch of things, and then he, you know, Anderson comes and saves him, and he's like, yeah, wait for her to shoot you. And it's like, I see what you're trying for, but that could have been a little better. And then I think the final showdown between him and Mama, not that, like, that wasn't cool, but I think it happened too quick. You know, like, there should have been a little bit more.
I don't know if it happened too quick. I think that it was a bit anticlimactic.
Okay, that might be fair.
Like, I think that it ended well, and we're not going to describe what happens, but there's not a lot of conflict in between the two during their standoff.
Yeah.
It's basically just like Judge Dredd does what Judge Dredd does, and that's the end. And that's the end of it. You know, like, yeah. So I don't know. It's solid overall.
Yeah.
It's not the best movie you're ever gonna watch. It is essentially a superhero movie. It's a comic book film,
but it's a very, very good comic book. Like, it's a very good, easily better than half of what Marvel puts out.
And DC currently, yeah.
So,
especially if you like a more gritty comic book character, because he's very, he does what the new Batman is supposed to do, except he does it well. You know what I mean? Like, Batflick was supposed to be gritty and hard and, like, seasoned, and, you know, he was okay, but Judge Dredd is, you know, he literally frowns the entire film.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's mad.
Judge Dredd is Judge Dredd day and night. He's not like mopey angry. This dude's just like, okay, you kicked me, I'm gonna put 3 in your head.
That's assaulting an officer, prepare to die.
Yeah, like, there's no mopey and depressed alcohol. No. He's like, is that all you got?
The other thing about the character is the fact that he's a judge means that he gets to kind of remove himself from having morals, right? Because Batman and other heroes, they operate based off of, like,
what the law is.
No, they base themselves off of a code of ethics, whereas Judge Dredd bases himself, like, I think that we just got confused.
Sorry.
But yeah, Judge Dredd just bases everything that he does off of what the law says. So if the law says, I can kill you, you're going to die. Yeah. Like, there's not really an if, and, or but about it. Like, he might give you an option of, like, 100 years in prison, which is called the ISO cubes.
Yeah.
But yeah, his moral code is kind of non-existent, and it's more just based off of strictly what the law says. Whereas Batman won't kill you. He might break all of your bones.
Right.
But Judge Dredd will cap you.
The same way as, like, Superman won't do it, Marvel, they don't do it.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd will put you down, no questions asked, you'll be dead.
And all of your friends.
Yeah.
Just because they were there with you.
You know, so he's hard. So like Sam said, if you're looking for a real gritty, dystopian, superhero, action hero, Dredd is your guy. This movie did not get the love it should have when it came out. Karl Urban, you are simply phenomenal in this movie, man. Like, I really hope you get to, you know, patrol Mega City 1 again. We're both big fans. Yep. Pick up Dredd. It's a blast.
It's a good time.
Well, this has been the Welch Review, and we will see you next time.